There are many recognized artists who started their music career by doing jobs not related to music. How do beginning independent artists earn their living? How do they leverage different roles, having families and full-time employment in professions which are far from music industry? In this episode, we will try to unveil this. I'm Sasha mSinger, and this is Nectarine Roadmap. Can you tell a few words about the project? Nectarine is an ambitious yet challenging project which I started as a wager with the best friend of mine. I wanted to check how far I can go into the world of professional industry. I wanted to check if I'm capable of producing some music that would attract some listeners, and I wanted to check how many of those people would get on board of the Nectarine vessel. Well, what about the style? Nectarine is a blend of classic rock vibes of such a band as Foo Fighters, which I'm a big fan of. There is also influence from progressive rock, and I'm a big fan of Bring Me the Horizon, Oliver Sykes, as well as with the influence from rapcore or rap rock bands such as Limp Bizkit, Papa Roach, and of course Linkin Park. I'm also a big fan of punk music. So some of our songs will go that direction. Starting Nectarine project, what goal did you set? The goal is to check how far an amateur can go into professional music industry, having a family, kids, and a job not related to music. I also wanted to check how to promote my music and see how many people would follow us, would listen to our music, and would show up on our shows. People often say that a new band usually spends some time on looking for their sound or style. Have you found yours? I feel this is a question about the maturity of the band. I feel that any band, a newly born one or recognized artist, they constantly in search of something new, some new inspirations. And the style of music for any band, this is not something rigid, but rather evolving with the time. Yes, our recent EP contains 4 songs which are completely different to one another, but that was the idea. I wanted just to test myself and see what songs could get more popularity in terms of the energy and the music vibes. So this is the way I feel the music, and I don't reject that I'm searching for my direction. For you, music is not a hobby. How difficult is it being a musician to navigate between the roles of a father, husband, and a breadwinner? First of all, this is difficult emotionally. Because I constantly have to struggle with the cognitive dissonance. From the one hand, I have to support my family. I have to spend more time with the kids, with my wife, do household chores, take part in kids' education and upbringing. For all of that, I have very limited time, and though I do my best to do at least one thing at a time, from the family perspective, it's not enough. And yes, this is causes some disbalance in my relationship with my nearest and dearest at times, and I sacrifice my time that I could spend with the family on music. But on the other hand, if I'm successful here, it means I will give more opportunities to my kids, better education, better place to live, and most importantly, they will have an example that if you are notorious and dedicated, you may try to change your life and you can achieve what you want. Even if I don't get that huge success in music that I'm about, I will still not regret that I tried to change my life, because this is again a good example for my kids. It is not a secret that any music project requires financial investment. What do you do for a living in order to support your family and promote your music? As I mentioned in one of our earlier episodes, I work in IT industry. I'm an IT business analyst. I work for a huge outsourced software company. This is a hard work, but still financially rewarding. Many people believe that to work in IT is a dream job, but very few know that the emotional burnout in this sphere is huge. The job is really exhausting. It requires lots of concentration and mental effort. To be a musician and an IT specialist, you have to have good skills at time management. And I believe the discipline should be iron strong, because you shouldn't have any temptation switching to music or checking something in your other field while doing your primary job. On the other hand, while doing music, you should not have any temptation to check the mails or their work messengers. How do you leverage the priorities regarding the expenses? This is a painful topic. Obviously, having a family, first of all, I have to take care of them and make sure that their needs are met. But I admit that sometimes I sacrifice the family needs for the music. For example, we may not go at the weekend somewhere interesting just because we had to invest into some music gear. I don't do it often, but it happens, and luckily my wife supports me. But at the same time, even supporting me, she sometimes may just tell me, hey, didn't you go too far? She helps me to get back on earth and showing me priorities more clearly. How dependent are you on the opinion of your listeners, and how do you react if the feedback is not 100% positive? This is a simple one. Those people who like my music, they just add it to their playlist in Spotify or iTunes. And if I hear from people that they would like to hear something different, or that the color of the guitar should be something different, then I believe that those are not my listeners. I believe that any recognized artist, when starting their career in music, they initially have a big circle of friends who support them. But with the time, as the amount of your natural fans grows, this circle of friends who support you, it shrinks, just because they understand, oh, okay, the project is kind of successful, and they start kind of missing the shows, and it's fine. I mean, it's totally okay. I believe this is natural. So the feedback of people who listen to my music is important to me, but I do not get disappointed if they say that they would like to hear this or that, or they would like to hear something different. I just accept it and continue my journey. You have a fairly busy schedule and a dynamic pace of life in general. Are there times when you feel like you're burning out and giving up? And what do you do in such situations? Definitely, I have time when everything goes the wrong way. I may not be satisfied with our progress in music. I may have some issues in the family, or I can have tough time at work, and sometimes it happens that all three spheres kind of go into the disbalance, and at this time I feel really frustrated and depressed. At this moment, all ambitious plans seem unreal. The idea of small improvement that I may have had last week just vanishes, and you have to start from scratch. At these moments, I usually try to stop and just do a mental look back at what I have done in the past in order to land where I am today. And then I try to appreciate what I have today, because without those time, money, strength, energy, sacrifices on family, I wouldn't have what I have today. Big appreciation to what was achieved. This is what I do. Running or any other physical activity gives me the possibility to reevaluate what's achieved and what corrections to my journey I have to do. and it helps to recharge the batteries and get the energy that is necessary to continue the journey. Often I have such energy insights during the time that I spend with my family when we go at the weekend to a park or we drive somewhere into nature. At evenings I may just sit on our terrace and look at the city lights, abstract from the current problems, and just perceive the world around me the way it is, without any desire or willingness to change or influence it. So introspective in any form assists in finding the way out. But this one should be without critics. For you, what is the most difficult in the project of Naked Irony? The most challenging in Naked Irony project is to find the dedicated bandmates, those who have the same energy and passion for music. To my mind, it's important to get people on board in the band with the same attitude. This is what I was taught by my friend and former bandmate, Alessandro from Italy. He always said that in order to be successful in anything you are doing, you need to treat it with passion and a healthy dose of addiction. But first of all, it's hard work. Well, if you come to a rehearsal spot in a bad mood or unprepared, it means you are not taking it seriously. And yes, only after deep exhaustion, hours of individual or group rehearsals, after you have your fingers sore after hours of playing the guitar, or when you're dragging the legs just after hours of drumming, only this would make you feel confident that you can do the live show that would help you to make you stand out from the crowd. Only that attitude will make you unique and the best of the best. So to find the mates with the same attitude is the most difficult. I hope we've made the right choices and the time will prove. It is believed that to become a successful music artist, you have to start as early as possible. What's your opinion on that? Though I agree that the sooner you dive into music, the better, I still believe that it doesn't matter when you decide to go from hobby to a professional level in music. And the word professional music career is weird and subjective to me. There are many factors that may derail even the way of even a recognized artist, and on the opposite, there are factors that may boost the career of an unknown band. The core here is to be dedicated to the desire of becoming the best of the best, great musician, and most importantly, to be focused and know exactly what you want to achieve at each step of your journey. What are your plans for the nearest future? We're having our first gig with the new lineup of our band in the end of August. It's gonna be a tribute night to Chester Bennington, Taylor Hawkins, Chris Cornell, and other great artists who unfortunately passed away in the last few decades. After that, in September, we are recording 2 songs which will be part of our next single release scheduled so far October 27th. And then we are spending time in a studio working on our full-length album, which is scheduled for release in the end of this year and has the working title 3 Chords Happiness. What advice would you give to an aspiring artist? Just do it, produce your music, search for your vibes and inspirations, do whatever it takes to achieve your goal, as it's worth it. And this is not about the destination and even not about the journey. This is about the interesting people who support you, surround you during this journey. Have them with you and you will be happy anyway. In the next video, I will show you how I copyrighted and distributed my songs. I will also share with you how I gained the ideas for my new music, how I'm searching for my inspirations. I'll share with you the short episode how we are getting to our tribute party in the end of August. See you in the next video. Bye for now.